thought I had seen it all, until today's final, when a 38th ranked athlete tore apart a world-class field in the women's 800 meters. Lillian Odira, a name most of you probably hadn't even heard before the Tokyo Championships, produced one of the greatest walkdowns of the tournament. For the whole of the 2025 season, Lillian Odira hadn't competed in any major international event. She had only raced locally in Kenya and managed one trip to a promotional meet in Poland, where she broke through for the very first time, dipping under 1 minute 57 seconds. That was on August 16th, just last month, when she ran a 1 minute 56.52 800. That single performance seemed to give her all the momentum she needed heading into Tokyo. The women's 800 final was stacked with overwhelming favorites, and at the very top of that list was Keely Hodgkinson. The reigning Olympic champion was her country's biggest hope for gold. Great Britain have endured a rough championship in Tokyo, with several of their headline athletes failing even to qualify for finals. But they had immense confidence in Hodgkinson and Georgia Hunterbell to deliver medals in this final. And honestly, who could blame them? Hodgkinson has been the marquee athlete in the 800 for the past 2 years. Since May of 2024, she has won every single race she has taken part in. Even after dealing with an injury following the Olympics, she still remained unbeaten across the 13 races she contested between 2024 and 2025. Her last defeat dates all the way back to September of 2023. For 2 years, she has remained unbeaten in the 800, up until today. As for Odira, Tokyo revealed her full potential to the world. She ran the fastest times in her heat. In the semifinals and then in the final, she produced the second fastest 800 race recorded since 2018. Think about that for a moment. Here was an athlete who barely broke 2 minutes throughout 2024. Then, within the space of 1 year, she transformed her personal best down into the 1 minute 54 second range. In Heat 5, she clocked 157.86, the only athlete across all 7 heats to dip under 1 minute 58. Then in the semifinals, she ran 156.85, again the fastest qualifier. But even after those results, most people still didn't see her as a real threat. The general belief was that the big names were just cruising, doing enough to qualify for the final. But Odira had it all planned out perfectly. From the start, Odira held back, settling right in the middle of the pack. She looked calm, almost hidden, her only intention seeming to stay tucked in safely. Up front, it was Mary Moraa who drove the race, powering through the opening lap and holding the lead as the bell rang. That's when Keely Hodgkinson shifted gears, upping the pace and pulling alongside Moraa. For the next 200 meters that followed, the two fought shoulder to shoulder, but by the time they approached the 600-meter mark, Moraa began to unravel. As they swung toward the 700-meter point, Georgia Hunterbell surged past, taking advantage of Moraa's fading strength. Audrey Werrow was still close, but that's when Lillian Odira made her quiet move, gliding past Werrow and setting herself up for the kill. Now they were entering the final curve, as the race tilted into its decisive moment. Moraa had completely gassed out. Hodgkinson and Hunterbell were battling for gold, and Odira, still dangerous, still unnoticed, was lurking right behind them. With just 50 meters to go, Odira unleashed a devastating kick. She flew past Hodgkinson and Hunterbell with such force that the two British stars were left fighting only for silver. The commentators barely spoke her name until the last 80 meters. That's how much of an underdog she was. Yet, in that instant, she turned the entire championship on its head. Her winning time, 1 minute 54.62 seconds, is now the new championship record. It's also her new personal best, and also the world-leading mark of 2025. And with it, Lillian Odira cemented herself as the 7th fastest woman in history over 800 meters. That is how an underdog makes a statement. The mark itself carries even more weight. It is only 1 millisecond slower than Keely Hodgkinson's personal best that she set in the 2024 Paris Olympics. And to add to the drama, in Tokyo, Hodgkinson was edged into 3rd place by her compatriot, Georgia Hunterbell, again by just 1 millisecond. The margins in this race were razor thin, but Odira's kick separated her from the rest. What makes this breakthrough extraordinary is Odira's past. This is not her first gold medal. She won 2 national titles back home in Kenya. But in neither of those wins did she even come close to breaking 2 minutes. Her times never suggested she belonged among the world's elite. And yet here she was, running in the 154 range, a barrier that only a handful of women in history have ever touched. To give perspective, a 154 range 800 meters makes you a world-class athlete. No debate. Only 9 women in history have ever run within this range, and only 2, Jarmila Kratochvilova and Nadezhda Olazarenko, managed to dip under 154, both who did it back in the 1980s. Odira has now joined that sacred middle distance club. This final had other standouts too. Georgia Hunter Bell ran 154.90, a personal best and a silver for Britain. 19-year-old Sarah Marai also broke through, clocking 155.74, a stunning time for a teenager that earned her 4th place. In a previous video I made a year ago, I said that Hodgkinson and Athing Mu would be the next women to go under 154. Today, I'll still keep faith in Hodgkinson, but with Mu, I've changed my mind. Ever since she failed to qualify for the Paris Olympics, her form has taken a nosedive, probably even worse than Yaroslava Mahuchik's. In 2025, Athing Mu has barely managed sub-2-minute races, and the momentum that once made her unstoppable is fading away fast. If I were to give a prediction now, I'd put my money on Lillian Odira. If she gets consistent Diamond League races and builds toward the 2026 Ultimate Championships, she could be the one to finally break 154. Remember, the last time anyone did that was Jarmila Kratochvilova in 1983. That's over 4 decades ago. And when you study the way Odira ran this final, patient, tactical, yet still holding back energy for that monstrous last kick, you can't help but believe she has more in her. If she ever runs an all-out 800, she could chip away at those fractions and dive deep under 1 minute 54. This Tokyo performance may just be the spark she needed. If she carries this form into the Diamond League, if she finds the right races, the right rhythm, then we may be looking at the next history maker. From overlooked national champion to world-class finisher, Lillian Odira has arrived. And if everything falls into place, she might just be the woman to run what no one has run in 42 years, an 800 meters in 1 minute 53 seconds.